first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go from Lambeau. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. First play from scrimmage, Stafford. Pass complete there to Nakua. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 5. Throwing is Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw, Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 42. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Stafford. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. To the air again, Stafford. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Packers offense set to go. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Try to run for it with Jacobs. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Next to receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
Well, to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Play fake. Here's Love. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Throwing. Love. His throw incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. In motion, the tight end. Here's Love. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock. Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Love now. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. So the completion results there in 9 yards. 3rd and 7 now.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Love from the gun on third down. That is caught, and down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That's a sharp throw right there on third down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want it to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a first and goal.
Working out of the gun, Love. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. To the air again, Love. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on second down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Love looking to throw it. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jordan Love, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Packers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Now Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. Tutu Atwell. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out. Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And the ball is knocked out. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They got the fumble recovery. Now here's Love to pass. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable, or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he's going to be met at about the 43. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And remember, this is a running back that fumbled on the previous drive, but fortunately for them, nothing came of it. And I think when that happens, sometimes coaches can lean a little more on forgive and forget. So he's right back out there and running again.
Stafford now to throw. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. Counter play with Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. To throw now, here's Love. This completes to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Shreds him with a stiff arm. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the 1st down as well.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and 1st down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Christian Watson. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. McManus now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Throwing quickly out wide, Atwell. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's Stafford. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Stafford looks to throw again. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 29-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole, a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. On play action, Love to throw. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
And they'll send the tight end in motion. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Play action this time with Love. And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. In motion goes the tight end. Now Love. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
3rd and 5. Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
From the 50, Stafford. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. From a couple of yards beyond midfield, here's 2nd and 8. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Ethan Evans on now to punt. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Packers ready to take over offensively. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Love now. Now they go screen. It's complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 7, operating from the 34. Going back to Love. Same target. It's Jacobs again. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Love, they go play action now. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They will throw again here with Jordan Love. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Here's Love. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. On fourth down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Now the Rams about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A very one-sided first half. 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Packer offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Well, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. That is caught, and he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for L.A.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now Stafford. Open man is Atwell, complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To the air again, Stafford. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 27-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Again, it's Stafford. To the right side and complete to Atwell. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up second down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Here's Stafford. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. Stafford. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Jacobs. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's 3rd and 3. Love looking to throw it. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Byron Young, the one who got in and finished that play off.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Now it's Stafford. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
Now Stafford. Right back to Atwell. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a 1st down.
Couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Here's Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Up the middle, it's Williams. Oh, he's got a little daylight. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
To throw is Stafford. Pass complete there to Nakua. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Stafford now to throw. Got his man. It's Williams. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Back to throw, Stafford. He's got Higbee complete right side. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Throwing is Stafford. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing again is Stafford. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Lucas Van Ness in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
It's caught on the right side. Williams back to the 29. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. And this one is right down the middle. And a second field goal here gets them back within 11 now. It's 17-6.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field.
Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. Now Love.
Got Dobbs over the middle.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
The Packers on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Trying to run for it with Jacobs.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 101 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Powering forward. Oh, there he does it again. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at him. We've got him now.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking...
And it's a Packers touchdown.
Romeo Doubs.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Packers have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Lucas Van Ness
able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
That's caught. It's Tutu Atwell.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Out of the gun, Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
Excellent job defensively there from Kobe Turner.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Throwing. Love. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. This is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Under pressure, they got him again. Lucas Van Ness able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
From the gun, here's Stafford. The left side throw complete to Adams. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll get this one complete to Atwell. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance of yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Jacobs going to try the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on 1st down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if he picked up the 1st down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the 1st down because in college football, the clock stops with every 1st down. It actually aids the defense in that situation.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
145 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them. Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Jacobs from the gun. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now the Rams offense getting the football back. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
The Rams ready to go on offense.
They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. Stafford. Slant to Adams. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Again, it's Stafford.
To the right side and complete to Atwell.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Down the left sideline.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Caught left side, Williams. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's Stafford.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now this likely a must-have. 3rd and goal.
To the air again, Stafford. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They snap it to Stafford. Touchdown, Rams. Tyler Higbee from 8 yards out.
And the Rams are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns them there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop him.
He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. Wait, hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
So a win here for the Packers, and it was all thanks to the play of their veteran quarterback.
Yeah, he did a little bit of everything, didn't he? He had 2 touchdown passes through the air, another one on the ground, and that defense, they really had no answer for many of their drives.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.